Thank you, Kelly, for asking me to speak today. I'm following some really amazing people. People who've been on today who are my very dear friends and colleagues and have beautiful messages to share. So very honored to be a part of the Ring of Peace and a part of this really lovely, intentional group and message. My name is Ameera Beth, and I live on the island of Kauai. I moved here from the Portland, Oregon area about 20 months ago, away from a lot of the people you've seen today who are my heart and my community. I moved here to begin doing retreats on the island and sharing the island magic with as many people as I could, and I do some healing stuff here as well. So it's great pleasure to send you all the lovely Hawaiian and aloha vibes from my heart and my spirit to yours as I talk about peace and what peace means to me. And when I was originally asked to take part in this experiment, this beautiful experiment, I really didn't have any idea what I was going to say or what I was going to share, because, when you start to really explore what peace means to you, so much comes up. And a lot of what comes up when we start talking about what peace means to us is thinking about what peace does not mean. So, and sometimes we have to know what peace is not, or experience what something is not, to know more about what it is, to really tap into what it is. So when I started to think about what kind of a message I wanted to relay about peace and what peace meant to me, something that really came up right now is right now a lot of us really aren't feeling a lot of peace. Since the equinox a month ago, there's been a lot of changes that have given us maybe some good reason to not feel so peaceful in our homes and in our bodies, and peaceful in even what we're viewing on TV or listening to on the radio. Everything is kind of coming up now to help us to feel maybe unpeaceful. So I started to think about how I could share about how we could all feel more peaceful in an era where peace is kind of a struggle right now. And I started thinking about some of the tools and the things that I bring into my healing practice, and that I share with people in order to bring peace back to the body and the mind and spirit. And one thing that I know for sure right now is we are in a time of what I refer to as creative destruction. The nature of God and life is create, destroy, and recreate. That's the nature of everything. Everything in nature is created and then destroyed and then recreated. And at this time, we are full on in the creative destruction. And destruction has to happen, has to be a part of the natural cycle of God and life in order for something else, because God and nature are always seeking to recreate themselves, right? Nothing is stagnant, nothing is static. In nature, everything moves and everything changes, and human beings and our existence, it is no different. As people individually, as individuals, we create, we destroy, and we recreate ourselves through all kinds of different mediums, all kinds of different ways. Nature does the same thing, and nature has many cycles. And the cycle that we are in right now is one of the taking down. And as collective, I really feel that as collective, we have chosen to take part in this cycle of creative destruction together, because we know on a very deep level that a lot of what is in place right now, a lot of the structures, a lot of the organizations, a lot of the ways we are having to live and exist, they're really not working. They're really not healthy, from everything from, the way our food is grown and raised, to government, to medicine. I mean, all of it. All of it is not conducive to sustaining life, healthy life on this planet. So the divine, which I believe the divine is in everything, we came together with the divine on this spiral of time to employ the creative destruction in order to dismantle what is really not serving life on this planet and humanity, so that as a collective, we could recreate something else that does. And really how that's all going to look and how that's all going to play out, nobody knows for sure, right? We're kind of co-creating this as we go along. There are many, many possibilities. There are many, many potential outcomes that we can and that we are co-creating in every minute. So it's lovely when a program like this comes together, where we can unify our hearts and our intentions and talk really openly and frankly about some of these things that maybe kind of scare us and take us out of our place of peace. I don't believe that there is going to be an area of our planet that is going to be untouched by nature over the next few years. And when I first say that to people, they might think that I'm talking kind of like gloom and doom and end of the world, and I'm really not. What I'm really talking about is that we are all in this together. And yes, nature, and by the way, Mother Nature is not mad at us. I don't believe that. I don't believe God and nature are exacting any kind of revenge on humanity for anything we have done, because I believe that nature is neutral. And nature and the earth respond to us. Nature and what happens on this planet, everything that happens, is a response or a reflection to what we individually and collectively are emitting, and what we individually and collective have decided how we need to learn and how we need to go and how we need to evolve and recreate ourselves. So when I say there is not a corner of this planet or a landmass that will not be affected, I mean that there is going to be a wave of healing, although it may not really feel like healing most of the time, that is going to affect all of us in some way, either literally or emotionally, physically. And in the end of it all, we will be returning to what we know in our hearts is most important, and that is community. And that is sustainable living, and that is living through a lens of love. And sometimes God and nature have to go through some kind of extreme methods in order to get us humans to really take notice, to really get involved in co-creating change. So some of the things that have made me feel more peaceful as I think about, how the Hawaiian Islands might be affected in the future is I kind of go to the practical. I think that it wouldn't hurt any of us to have some items on hand in case something comes through our area that doesn't allow us to get to the grocery stores and do the things that we're used to doing on a normal basis. Some water purifiers and some extra canned goods and batteries and things. And when I collect mine or when I talk about it, I ask people to do it with a light heart. We can prepare ourselves for various outcomes without losing a space of peace, without going into fear, because it just makes good sense, and it really brings me more peace to know that if something were to come through Kauai, that I have the means to take care of myself and maybe help my neighbors out. So as you are thinking about, do I want to collect some things? What's going to bring me peace? If there happens to be something that happens in my area that affects my, my ability to take care of myself, what would bring me the most peace right now? What can I collect? How can I prepare? How can I maybe talk to my friends and neighbors, to my family about preparing, so that we as a community can come together if we need to and support and help each other in what might be some of the worst of times. So the practical, not just the energetic and the spiritual aspect of peace right now, the real earthly piece of survival and thriving, right, in difficult times, it is a really significant way to bring yourself peace. Okay, so it's all perspective. When you think about preparing for things, the unknown, it's all in perspective. We can go into it with fear, and we can go into it with, hard hearts or with apprehension, or we can go into it as, this is what I'm doing to maintain my space of peace. Now I know that I can help my family and my community because I have X, Y, and Z in place. Okay, now I know that if difficult circumstances arise, I have the peace of mind and peace of my heart to know that we are provided for. So the physical pieces right now, really important in maintaining our peace. And some of the other things that we can do as we see the earth evolve, and we see ourselves evolve, and our relationships evolve and change, and we're a part of things that make us uneasy, is remember to breathe. Remember to go to your breath for calming anxiety and grounding and centering and grounding into our hearts right now. I've been teaching people in lieu of grounding into the earth, which is something that has been traditionally been taught in the metaphysical world. Instead of grounding into your heart or into the earth, ground into your own heart space, ground into yourself, ground into your sense of sovereignty. We don't get to control much in this life, right? We don't really have control over anything except ourselves. We do get to have control over our own energy and how we respond and react to things. Okay, so as you feel yourself becoming maybe a little uneasy or nervous, or when things start to happen around you, and not just the nature stuff, this is life in general, really sitting or standing with 2 feet on the floor and using your breath and drawing down the energy from the divine and going into your heart space and your aura will help to bring you a instant state of peace and calm. Some of the other tools that I'm suggesting to people that we do, I know that I am the most happy and I am the most peaceful when I'm being creative. When I'm expressing myself somehow creatively. So whether that's art, or music, or dance, or yoga, or whatever you enjoy, human beings we have that desire to express something creatively, to allow creativity to create, right, through our bodies and through our minds. I think that's shared universally. So some of the tools that you can bring into your everyday life is, if you have things that bring you peace through creativity, or if you've ever dreamed or thought of doing something creative, this is a really wonderful time to step into that. There's kind of a tendency when we go through really difficult times, or we're watching other people or other communities go through really difficult times, there's kind of a tendency in us to feel guilty if we are enjoying our life, or if we are not lamenting or emotionally involved in those situations. And so the truth of this is that we all feel, we're all empathic, we're all going to have a lot of those times, we all do. And alongside of having those times, keeping our own vibrations high. I think the objective of this ring of fire is raising vibration, raising our own individual vibration through acts that make us happy, that make us feel peaceful is going to become very important. So maybe acts of service are really important to you. Maybe you want to get involved in some kind of a community, you know, that does something for the world or for your community. Maybe that's what makes you happy. You know, maybe you want to start doing something something with your body, you know, something exercise, you know, something that makes you feel good and happy and grounded in your physical body. For me, it's been music. I have found that creative expression through music, and I'm 50 years old, never played a musical instrument before, kind of sang in choir in high school, and about 4 months ago, I started taking ukulele lessons on the island and absolutely fell in love with playing music and creating music, creating those new neural net pathways, you know, in my brain, and coming out of going through all the uncomfortableness, you know, of learning how to play an instrument and having the sore fingers and feeling frustrated, you know, because sometimes I want to learn faster, but overall, learning to play music and teaching myself songs and taking lessons every week with my instructor and learning how to use my body, my voice, and my hands to create music has been amazingly therapeutic. I've absolutely fallen in love with playing a ukulele, and some days I just want to sit around for hours and play music and learn music, because the joy that it is bringing to my life and the way it is enhancing everything, this expansion, you know, this creative destruction, this recreation. Human beings, we're constantly recreating ourselves in some way. So if you've ever felt like maybe you want to learn music or learn to sing, it's really an amazing portal for creativity and for joy and for keeping your vibration high. Okay, one of many, many ways. But right now, you know, that is the soothing balm for my soul is music. And, you know, even listening to music and listening to really good music can soothe you as well. Find something right now, dip into something that brings you joy and that helps you maintain a place of peace while you're doing it, and do it without guilt. Okay? Because the best thing we can really do for this planet is to maintain and raise our own vibration and energy and joy. You know, and there are many things that we can do through prayer. Prayer can be a joyful act as well. You know, I'm learning songs that are like they're prayers that I'm sending out to the world and sending out to the universe, and feeling helpless. Sometimes I feel kind of helpless, like maybe there's nothing I can do for people who are suffering or for the lands who are suffering. And when I play some of these specific songs and sing, I feel like I'm offering my prayers of peace and my prayers of healing out to the collective, and that returns me to a place of peace, because I really believe prayer helps. I really believe that intentional speaking out, intentional letting the Holy Spirit move through you is not only healing for ourselves, but it's very healing for the planet. So I'm gonna play song for you today. I have never played live in front of anybody except my ukulele instructor and a couple of students. I've never played for anybody else, so to do this, you know, live on camera is kind of a big coming out for me, a big deal. I'm going to sing a Hawaiian song called E Malama, and I'm going to teach you the words, tell you the words, and if you feel like it's very simple song, if you feel like from where you're at you would like to sing along with me, that would be lovely. It's meant to be sung as a prayer or a chant. And so the words go, E Malama, ika heau. E malama ika heau. E malama pono ika heau. So the Hawaiian language is beautiful. I'm still learning to speak it and understand much of it. But the Hawaiian language is hands down one of the most amazing, beautiful languages I have ever heard. I am not Native Hawaiian. So for me to embody their phrases and their words and speak their prayers, I just really want to acknowledge like what an honor that is and how seriously I take this, because to live among the Hawaiian people and to visit their sacred spaces and to know how much they value their sacred land, that's really important to me. So I just wanted to share that with you, that just how special it is for me to share the beautiful prayers in language. A, which is the letter E, A malama. A means A. We say A, it's like with intention, with vigor. So A malama, malama means to care for. So to care for, ika heau. Heau means sacred space in Hawaii. So when we say E malama ika heau, it means care for the sacred lands, care for them. The third line is E malama pono ika heau, and so the word pono means with responsibility or with great care. So E malama pono ika heau means care for the sacred spaces with responsibility. And then the next line is earth and sky, sea and stone. Hold this land in sacredness. Okay, earth and sky, sea and stone. Hold this land in sacredness. I had something else I was going to say around that. So I'm going to sing. Extend this prayer from my heart to the world, because of course the whole world is sacred land. This is not just a Hawaiian prayer today. This is a prayer and a song for the entire world, because our entire world is sacred space that we must care for. Earth and sky, sea and stone, hold this land in sacredness. Earth and sky, sea and stone, hold this land in sacredness. Earth and sky, sea and stone, both these lands in sacredness. Hey, out, hey, out, Equinox blessings to all, and thank you for allowing me to express myself. Aloha.